In 1971, the Perry Township Firehouse was established. Nestled in the small town of Corey, many local farmers, people in our church communities, neighbors, and friends volunteer their time to help in their community. They have regular jobs and live regular lives, but they are willing to risk everything at a moment's notice, at any time of the day or the night. We aren't firefighters, so we don't have first-hand knowledge or experience, but here's a local hero that does.
It's all right, are you?
Volunteer firefighter for Corey Fire Department.
What made you want to be a volunteer firefighter?
What made me want to be a volunteer firefighter? So growing up, I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field. And when I was about 16 years old, the volunteer fire department got introduced to me. And I thought that was a really good way to gain experience and knowledge for what I wanted to do later in life.
How long have you been a part of the fire department?
I've been a part of the fire department for about 4 years.
What are the duties as a volunteer firefighter?
So the duties of a volunteer firefighter are just the exact same as a career firefighter. So we go on car wrecks, fires, medical calls. The majority of the calls that fire departments get are medical calls. The fire service is made up of about 75% medical calls.
What is the average week of a volunteer firefighter like?
So what we do is 100% volunteer. We don't spend the night at the firehouse like career firefighters do. So we carry pagers that the 911 operator will dispatch us. This is a pager, so it will go off anytime my fire department gets toned out. So anytime I could be asleep, I could be working outside. If that pager goes off and I'm available, I'm in the area, I will respond. So we're basically just the same as career firefighters, except we don't live on station. We're not on station at the whole time.
What do you like most about this job?
What I like most about this job is probably definitely the fires. You know, people often laugh when I say fire is really hot, but until you're inside a fully involved structure fire, you truly understand how hot and devastating fire can be.
What is the most memorable experience you've had while in the department?
Most memorable experiences I've had, even in the volunteer side, you see a lot of bad stuff. Stuff that a lot of people don't even realize that happens, especially at nighttime car wrecks. I won't go into too much detail about that, but there's a house fires are pretty memorable too. But there's those calls that sometimes stick with you for a little bit.
Do these experiences motivate you to keep wanting to volunteer with the fire department?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, it just gives me a little taste of what my career would, my career as a firefighter will be like. And I love what I do, and I love volunteering. So I can only hope that I do it full time one day for my professional career.
How much training did you have to have?
So the training varies. So to be able to make entry into a fire, you have to have what's called a Module A. So that class is about probably 3 months, and there's Module A, B, C, and D, and then basically Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2. So once you get that, you're in the state of Indiana, you're a firefighter. You're basically called a firefighter, since you have all the training. But so I'm firefighter 1, and then I also have my EMT certificate. So I'm a licensed EMT in the state of Indiana.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to join a volunteer fire department?
So volunteering is great. I mean, the sense of serving your community is something that everybody should be proud of, and it's a very good thing. You know, there's oftentimes where living in a small community like Corey, you never know who it's going to be when your pager goes off. It could be somebody that you know very well, someone that you've grown up around, an older folk that you know, or but it's a very good thing. It really introduces you to what life life really is and how precious it is.
Corey, Clay City, Coal City, and Bowling Green all have fire departments in our community. They're all volunteer units, so they don't always have the fanciest, newest trucks and equipment, but it's all still cool. So the Corey Fire Department has 4 trucks. This one right here in front of me now has all the tools and hoses to get the job done. You know, break into houses and everything else. You know, the axe is here and the ladder to get on the next story. But you know, the hoses are useless unless you have the water. This is where the water comes in at, this big tanker right here. This one will hold 300 gallons of water, and that's plenty to get all the jobs around here done. So the next truck in the garage is this old F-350 right here. It's kind of like the best of both worlds, but like a quick little truck, you know. It has some of the tools, it doesn't have as much as that first truck there, but it has, you know, the hose right here, and there's a big pump in there that, you know, basically you throw it like a lake or something, and take water out of there, you can hook it up to a well or something. You know, it serves many uses. And then one more truck they have is this EMS truck. It kind of has dual purpose, you know, it has the medical stuff and kind of like a little fire truck too, I guess. And that takes us into this room right here. This room right here is like the heart of it. You know, it serves many purposes. You know, benefit dinners have been held here. Sports banquets, birthday parties, fish fries, and there was even a school at one point. But you know, when people think of Corey, the best known thing here is the Apple Festival. And it's right in the heart of the Apple Festival. And, you know, the firehouse is a great place for their community to gather.
You may not notice the impact of our community volunteer firefighters have, but they all risk their lives and spend their time to help us all. Like mentioned earlier in the video, we have neighbors, friends, and even a classmate who volunteers in our local fire department. Shout out to Noah Sight and Sticker. Thank you to all our heroes and all they do for us, and thank you for watching.